All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live segment here with the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel family, where we share insightful topics, inspirational quotes, and divine messages weekly. As far as this topic, you put it in whichever category you want to. I'm definitely not giving inspirational quotes this morning, or I guess it could be looked at as an insightful topic. Uh, because I'm doing my own slight version of a movie review, real quick about They Cloned Tyrone. Why y'all didn't tell me this movie was so insightful though? Good morning, world. Today's date, March December 16th, 2025. It is approximately 6:01. That's the time, 6:01 a.m. Mountain Time. As I record this stream, just hit the play button, put us on your morning screen, radios, hook us up to the aux cord on your way to work. I'm just gonna be live for about an hour talking about this movie. Things I noticed, things I might have missed. If I have questions and you might can answer the answers, feel free to leave them in the chat. But that's my first question. How many of y'all seen the movie? Uh if you haven't become a subscriber already, you are invited and both welcome to click that subscribe bell. Become a subscriber. This way you get notifications on your feed every time we post new content. This just shows that you're a fan. You support us. You are a You Will Make It TV global inspirationalist too. Okay? Um, we are gonna keep marketing the merch. I just want to get all the other stuff out the way before I go into the topic. If you are interested in purchasing merch this Christmas, even if it's just in support of the You Will Make It TV channel, you know to look on my news feed on the You Will Make It TV news feed. We have constantly been sharing what the t-shirts look like, the t-shirts and the hats in person anyway. Uh, right now, the only colors they come in is the color gray, but we can customize the color and whether or not you would like the t-shirt long sleeve or short sleeve. Because I know it's winter now, and at first we didn't have any long sleeve ones available. So, anyways, email us at justjackets@gmail.com if you are interested in a t-shirt or you will make your TV ball cap. We are still accepting orders for custom gift baskets. This will be year round. I just wanted to be promoting that as well since it's the Christmas season and anybody might want to put in any last minute orders. We are still accepting orders. Maybe you ran out of last minute gift ideas. Let You Will Make Your TV handle that for you. Email me at tetasheriw@gmail.com if you're interested on that side. So, anyways, I'm not gonna spend the whole beginning of the topic. You just throw that information out there in case, people might be interested because I plan to do better with that. Just staying up on, and it's a little easier to work on it now that people kind of see the in between lines of what you've been going through, why the pattern is upbeat, then downbeat, which does lead me back to talking about They Cloned Tyrone. There was so many things about that movie, right? That conspiracy surrounds in the first place. So I'll be right back, guys. We're about to talk about it. So around this time, because I looked up when the movie came out, because I remember when they were promoting the movie everywhere. Okay. But at the time, and I understand why I probably didn't get to watch it. Like it says it came out in 2023, y'all. When I tell you 2023 was one of the most busiest years of my life, y'all excuse me, I just turned the volume up. You should be able to hear me a little better now. But yeah, the movie They Cloned Tyrone came out in 2023, but I know I was like busy as hell that year, to be honest. I started the first 4 months of 2023 just pregnant as hell. Like it was the end of my pregnancy too, so I was just busy, probably sleeping all the time. So I really didn't get to check that movie out. And then after the baby came, I was busy a lot too. But y'all know that movie is a big deal. When I tell you, I just got through watching it like 30 minutes ago. Let me first off say that I found it very enjoyable. I hate to point out the obvious because we know that the main point of the movie is the message and not the details. But being a writer myself, I pay attention to the details of movies because it just teaches me where to brush up at sometimes too. So here's an example of what I mean. Uh, I didn't like how they had it set in like a 70s. It's like they were going for a 70s time frame. Because, that's a very important part of writing a script. You have to pick, like, and that was always hard for me to do too. When I first started off as a writer, like, you just be wanting to jump straight into the story, create some characters and a storyline. But a good writer knows, hey, what time era is it? Is it the 50s, the 30s, the 1800s? You can't just throw characters. So let me first say shout out to the all those that made that movie possible. We do appreciate your efforts and work, even the message that the movie portrayed. We greatly appreciate you. So I'm not knocking the film writer, nothing. It was just funny because at the beginning of the movie, the little boy was asking his big brother, he was like, do you watch SpongeBob? And just bothering him about SpongeBob. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Wasn't this, ain't this supposed to be the 70s? Because we all know SpongeBob wasn't out yet. It's just little details like that. Who else did they bring up? They brought up just a few things that wouldn't even been. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The DJ at the party on one of the scenes, he was playing music that wouldn't have been out in the 70s. You feel me? Like he had some Pooh Shiesty and all kind of rappers, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought this was the 70s. So sometimes they don't get it absolutely correct. It was like they mixed a little modern into the movie, even though it was supposed to be a 70s time frame, but maybe they did that on purpose. I don't know. But I can admit this is my first time watching the movie. It's been long overdue, and maybe I watched it right on time. Who knows? But the whole narrative, the storyline of the movie is just crazy, bro. Good morning, world. As you guys slowly trickle in here, I'm just giving a reaction to my first time watching They Clone Tyrone. That's the name of the movie. Okay. Maybe another reason I hadn't seen it, because I guess it's been sitting on Netflix this whole time. The whole freaking time. Like some movies have been on Netflix and I'm just now. And I think it was meant for me to watch it because it just popped up in my recommended, which I think Netflix does that based off of movies that you have watched. So Netflix is getting to know me a little bit. I'm like, all right, Netflix, you're right. This is something I would be into. So I sat there and watched it. Okay, I can't talk about the movie quite yet. Ain't this around the same time that people was trying to allege that Jamie Foxx had been cloned? So it's so crazy. This is around that time. And like I said, I hadn't seen the movie at that time because I was busy in the year 2023. I had just had a baby. Okay, speed forward. I remember that much being in the blogs though. Just because I was pregnant don't mean I ever stopped watching the blogs, the news, none of that. Okay, even after I had the baby, you still had to move slow for a little while. So you might have just lounged around and watched the news. And I know I remember seeing it. It was just a little gossip, a little conspiracy at the time. People was like, at first they were saying Jamie Foxx was in the hospital. He had got real, real ill. And I'm not talking about a Mandela effect right now. I'm saying I personally remember them saying that man was in a hospital. Okay. And then when he got out, or he had such a quote unquote speedy recovery, maybe that's what made people say, well, we don't think that's the same Jamie Foxx. It was so crazy. Like it was so stupid to this day. Like, didn't y'all say he went blind and all this other stuff, and then now you seeing him out fine? It still makes no sense, but it made the conspiracy rumors even worse. Like, that's exactly why people feel like that man that's parading around here right now is not the real Jamie Foxx. Not because of the movie, but because the real Jamie Foxx was in the hospital a little after that movie was produced. Do y'all not remember that? Now, I don't remember what they said was wrong with him. Okay? It's not even our business. But when you are a man like Jamie Foxx and you have fans like 20-year, 25 plus year fans, yeah, you can't just throw a man like that in the hospital. This stuff got to be some kind of experiment and expect people not to wonder if he's okay. The Jamie Foxx? Okay. So yeah, I remember the short circulating the little clips like, look, y'all, we see him doing fine on a yacht. Like, how are you on a yacht? How are you? Oh, you're at the hospital now? It's strange. I said, well, maybe the reason I never did a live about it back then, even when I heard the rumors about it, was because I said, well, maybe that's just a part of promoting his movie. Everybody knew the hype about the movie was about a quote unquote clone. So maybe he played along with the whole clone rumors. And I just don't think it's funny because if you're going to report that he's in the hospital for and he's blind and got pneumonia, like what's going on, bro? We never really did get the full story of why he was in the hospital. Why would you hospitalize after producing that movie? Hmm? So on that part, that's the only part that made the movie a little. Because I don't like when movies do that kind of like jump timelines. But hell, why not? In real life, people jump timelines all the time. But I don't like to see it when I'm actually trying to watch a movie and keep up with the timeline that they claim that they're portraying. You can't mix modern day with the 70s. It's just it didn't click. Like, but I feel what they were trying to do. They were trying to give us more of a soul level, if you will, insight on what it's like to be in like a quote unquote hood community. Notice they had the character of the pimp, the character of the lady, because I want to use the proper term. Uh, we all know what pimps have by their side. So they had her, the pimp, and the regular hood drug dealer. So I was laughing. I'm like, I thought the movie was more of a comedy. Maybe it is a little bit. I would say it's more like a sci-fi, psychological thriller comedy. I'm just not used to seeing Jamie Foxx in them kind of movies. Like something so. As a matter of fact, I can't really say that. This movie was just different. You know, they played a lot around with. You had a lot going on. You got conspiracy already all over the movie. You know, anytime you're talking about clones, uh, it wouldn't matter what time frame you're talking about them in, because people do believe that the clone experiment's been going on for longer than what quote unquote the public knew about. Period. But yep, I just got through watching a movie like 30 minutes ago. I watched the whole thing on Netflix. I won't lie. I asked myself, is it one of those movies I can see myself watching? I might have to watch it again. Because I do feel like, let me say this, I feel like it's a good movie to watch if you're in the beginning stages of asking yourself, like, are you ready to accept that this is This is the future of the world if it's not already the world already. And this is why I say that they're not hiding that they clone certain foods. Like they literally are lab growing meat, bro. But you don't want to believe that they can't lab grow a new version of you. They can lab grow a plant, a human being, a embryo, a human fetus. But you don't think, I'm sorry, but that's what that movie shows. It was like they found a secret hideout of hidden clone bodies, right? And it's many movies out like that right now. Like these, what's that movie called? Them or Us? It's called Us or They. But I know it was scary because I watched it, and it was like clones of the whole family, the mama, the kids. They just heard something outside one day, and they go look out on the front porch. It's a whole nother set of them. The thing is, the versions of them that they had learned to fear actually was their alter ego selves, like who they would be in their darkest, and literally the clones was playing on their minds. Like it was like the clones was feeding. This movie wasn't like this one. They cloned Tyrone. This one, it was as if the clones had been programmed specifically to psychologically like torture you. That's what was weird about that movie. And all of them, these are movies about black people. So pay. So it's just no wonder that these kind of movies captivate me. Period. Even that movie Get Out, they not on the big screen for no reason. I don't think so. And if we are just looking at stuff like this for entertainment, don't look at it just for entertainment. Go see if there's some truth to it. Research it a little bit. Get Out was just a prime example of something that really does happen to black people. There have been amp stories released in the news media about black people going to these sundown towns or traveling somewhere alone and they don't return. But the thing is, you just get a response, oh, this what happened to your loved one. We found the body, this what happened. Like, that's not enough for people. If it was an all white town, they just supposed to believe they had a random car wreck or some other strange coincidence, but literally where they found the person was in an all white town and it was black. So those kind of things people have talked about for a long time. It's really sad that we're going into 2026 and you still can't just travel somewhere and that don't still happen to people. So the movie Get Out is, even if people didn't want to look at it as entertainment, they could look at it as insightful and informational. Don't travel nowhere unprepared. Like try to, even truck drivers, like sometimes they talk about that because it's happened to truck drivers too. They are kind of forced to drive alone. You don't have anybody in the truck with you. You driving them big 18 wheelers, it's just you. So if you black, you might be driving somewhere to make a truck stop, but you gotta pass through. There's them pass throughs that people gotta pay attention to. You gotta pass through 10, 12 other cities just to get to where you going. Hopefully you didn't stop and talk to nobody, but sometimes truck drivers they gotta pull over, sit for a while. So it's been stories about that too. Like unfortunate stuff happening to truck drivers because they ended up in the wrong town. Just wanted to stop by a diner and get a bite to eat, or stop at a motel, get a room until they travel the next day. Anyways, I don't know why people suddenly don't want people talking about it and trying to censorship everything when it comes to racism, because we just talked about this a little bit on the last stream pertaining to humiliation rituals. Would you say that creating a whole clone of somebody is a form of humiliation? It's crazy, especially against their consent. So that's what the movie They Cloned Tyrone was about. The one that was a drug dealer, he didn't take it well at first. He starts shooting at the actual pod that they were holding his image or his clone in. He didn't want to look at it anymore. He didn't want to see that as like normal. He didn't want to accept it. He said there's no way. So let's talk about what started his journey. Well, he was into some stuff in the streets. I'm not trying to spoil the movie for everybody, but these are things that, you found significant about the movie. He was just a guy in the hood. What really got me though, y'all, at the end, I hate to skip to this part, where he realizes that the whole time he had been knocking on his mom's room door thinking he was talking to his mother, it was a recording. It was just a recording saying the same thing over and over. Baby, you all right? He knocking on the door, bringing his mama food and everything. Like, they done replaced his mother with a whole recording machine. Anything to keep control of the black man, woman, or child's mind. Of course, if that's real, because he meets the scientist at the end of the movie who admits to him, uh, yeah, you know, I've been experimenting on you since you was little. Like, you're really me. The movie's crazy. I hope they do a part two though. Cause remember at the end they all talked about going to Michigan, Minnesota, wherever they were talking about, but they should do a part two. That's my opinion. So it's been 3 years since they did part one. I mean, why not? But I can see why not. We want the original Jamie Foxx that was in the movie. We want him, not this version of Jamie Foxx y'all have now. Anyways, that's what makes it sinister. Like, did y'all really clone Jamie Foxx right after he did a movie about it? It's so weird. I mean, so what? People getting tired now saying I don't want to face reality anymore. I don't like what my life is, even if they celebrities, because guess what? If you sell your soul, what are you anyway? You're not yourself anymore. You're a controlled clone. So maybe they walk away from their real realities and get the clone to just finish walking out their days. It's the weirdest theory, bro. But even the mere possibility that this might already be happening in society, bro, is so weird. Cause yeah, if y'all do a They Clone Tyrone Part Two, are we gonna have the real Jamie Foxx? It's the question. Like, if the movie ain't gonna be the same, just don't do a part two. Cause I hate when they do that too. Like, try to replace a character with another person. I just hate when movies do that. Like, get the original people who played in part one to finish out the other parts. That's what make it better. You get somebody, they did that, they tried that with Fast and Furious. They tried to replace, and God rest his soul. I forgot his name. He was one of the main actors in that movie. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He passed away. And what did they get? Either they got his twin or somebody that looked like him. It just wasn't the same, right? Like, once you become a fan of a movie, they don't always work to try to get a whole nother actor to play that person. Anyways, that's strange, strange, strange that he was laying up in a hospital. All they showed was a picture of his eyes closed, like he was resting. But then y'all was saying he was blind. But then we turn around and see him on a yacht boat on a vacation. I mean, he had sunglasses on, but the way he was standing on that yacht, he looked like he could see to me. So maybe they don't be keeping up with the narratives, like, cause they never told us he died. But you know what? At the time, I think that's what was crazy about it. Like, you can't even be in the hospital sick when you got a certain status without rumors floating around that you done already died. That's a rumor for you though. Like, I mean, they never get it completely right. It never said he died. It said he was in the hospital. Cause I remember that. Then people just kept asking about him. Remember they was asking his daughter, and that's another thing. Some young man, it's not new, but it's new to me. Cause I had only heard about like Jay-Z kids coming out saying like, "Oh, You got kids, like, or alleging that they were his kids. But some young man came out saying the same thing about Jamie Foxx. And what was crazy, he kind of looked like him. But people in the comments were saying, oh, this already being debunked. We already found out that ain't his son. Who do y'all think y'all are? Y'all don't know if that's his son, but people were shocked. They was like, what? We only thought Jamie Foxx had daughters. We didn't know he had no son. And so you see more of that happening now too. Like they willing to clone a black man before he can claim his kid. That's what it's looking like to me. They'll clone the father. That's just weird, bro. They'll clone the parent or they'll clone the kid. Hell, maybe they're cloning everybody, but that's strange that you willing you willing to make Jamie Foxx. I mean, even if that's your father, bro, let it go. Cause at this point, once they done made it to that level of this is my advice, they done made it to that level of fame and status and money. You don't even know. Even if you hear through the grapevine, oh, that's your pops, bro. Why go chase after this celebrity, bro? Like, how you even know they still them? With some of the stuff we seeing today. That's why I like what Jay-Z's son said. He was like, maybe God was protecting him from the industry. Like he don't care. Even if a million people tell him he crazy, he's already convinced that he's Jay-Z's son. We're talking about the young man, Ramir. He's talked on several interviews, giving his story to y'all on these podcast interviews. And I remember him mentioning or saying something along those lines, like when they be like, how does it feel that you lived a regular life out here? And I don't know why they be asking him like obvious questions though, but that's a good interview that's going to be, you know what I'm saying, on record for years to come. You have to ask questions that people will also wonder in the future. So they asked him, how does it feel being raised in the hood and you had to see your daddy on TV every day making millions of dollars pretty much? And I'm not saying that was his direct answer, but he ended up telling him like there's just times he feel like God don't make mistakes and he didn't know his dad for a reason. He feel like he said that same quote, sometimes rejection is protection. He feels like maybe God kept him away from the industry. Many people in the comments feel the same way on any of Ramir's interviews. They be like, young man, it's a reason, because he could easily feel emotionally some type of way. He could easily start going into depression because your rich dad don't want nothing to do with you and you don't know why. So you have to make peace with it. Hell, even if your dad is not rich and you don't know your dad, that's unfortunate. Or your dad has not been there for you. I would say that's still unfortunate. So it's just crazy. Like, would him claiming to be JC's son, like, would it matter to him if he was to find out, hey, that ain't even your daddy no more? That's a clone. Like, but you've never heard those rumors about Jay-Z. That is one person that you've never heard people say, oh, I think he's a clone now. But it makes you wonder. Some of these celebrities change up so much after they get the money. And now you got BBLs and stuff that exist, so you really don't know. Because when it comes to a BBL, you can be in either gender to get that performed on you. You see, you could be a man and have a transformative surgery, and now you're a new woman, and you just get you a new name, and people will never know. That's what's scary. Why do you have so many people running from their real, true identities? Like, we've never seen a generation on this so much. I mean, is it the invention of avatars? Uh, like, what is it? The internet and social media show people, look, you can be anybody you want to be. And then they just went crazy with it. Like, what? Yeah, because you really can. You can go to the hospital and get a surgery and look like anybody you want to, whether you're a man or a woman. So how can you trust anything if you want to, if you wanted to? You don't know who people are anymore. At least you still have those people in the world who are able to spot out like what's natural. Like I want to be one of those people. I'm not saying that I'm not. I'm just saying I want to remain one of those people. You're really lost. I wouldn't care what dimension, reality, timeline we're in. Regardless of which one you're in, you're lost if you can't tell what's real or not anymore. That's crazy. So I like to be able to see the things that makes what's natural natural, no matter how much they try to change it. Like I want to be able to see it. Like, oh, okay, I can tell this, which they say is hard to these days. You can't even tell who's a man and a woman anymore, and that's very sad. This, might I add you, is we're not even talking about the cloning yet. This is the stuff people are doing to themselves. Skin bleaching, food diets where they're losing insurmountable amounts of weight at one time. They have weight gain pills, weight loss pills, steroid pills. They got a medicine for everything to help you change the way you look. They have lip filler injections. They have Botox. They have laser surgeries where you can remove all the hair off your body. So it doesn't matter if you were born a man and you're supposed to have hair all over your legs. You can go get all the hair removed. When you get a laser surgery, it never grows back. And now, how will people know who you are? If you change your hair, oh my God, I can't believe this. So, anyways, like I said, this is where people start as far as self image augmentations, like just changing their natural looks. Y'all, let me tell y'all an update while I'm on the topic. You know, the guy, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the viral clip of the guy who did a body transformation to literally look like an alien. Y'all ain't seen it? He had a surgery done on his tongue, and his tongue looks like a serpent. He just wants to look like an alien. He had a surgery done to his skull where it looks like he has horns coming out of his skull, right? I'm not even done yet. He got piercings everywhere. He got his tattoos. I don't even know how they do this, but there's some kind of surgery where you can tattoo your eyes. And no, we're not talking about the pupils. They somehow get the like outside rim of their eyes tattooed so the whole eye look black with ink. Okay? Then he got his whole body tattooed to where his skin looks reptilian. Like he had literal augmentations to do this to himself. So here's the update. Here's the update because it made me sad to see it. Yes, he's still living. No, he's not sick. No, nothing tragic happened. But something tragic kind of did happen. He's come back to the internet to tell everybody he thinks he's made a big mistake. It made me so sad. Because you done did all that to your body. And now you want to turn back. And when he was first going viral, I don't know if they call him Alligator Man, Alien Man. I forgot what they call him. But I know it's not Alligator Man. But he got a whole nickname. He made, oh, don't get it twisted. He made lots of money going to different events and shows dressed up like an alien. It's a little more than dressed up though. When you change your skin, your eyes, your lips, like literally, you can Google this man right now. Google alien man. Man transformed himself into an alien. He gonna pop up. He started as just like he was a tattoo artist. I believe that's what he was. He was into tattooing or piercing. And his obsession just went a little far. Okay, that's one of the things that Donald Trump is talking about banning right now, or I think he already did. I don't know who made it legal in the first place, but he had to turn around and ban it. He said, look, body augmentation for minors is absolutely legal. Or he's fighting for it. He's fighting for it to be illegal. I'm sorry, illegal is the word I meant to say. He feels like Minors should not get these type of procedures because they might turn 18. They might get older and regret, like, oh, why did I do this while I was 14? Get my tongue cut like a snake. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's some kind of surgery they have where their tongue is split, you know what I'm saying, to look reptilian. So he came back to the internet saying that he feels like he made a big mistake. He's looking for help. He's looking for doctors that might be able to help him refix his body back. Like, bro, 80% of your body is filled with tattoos at this point. I'm not saying, and y'all know I'm a woman of faith, so I'm not saying he's not going to be able to get his life back. The thing is, the kind of things that he's changed on his body is going to be a little more complicated than just having a few surgeries to turn you back, sir. And that's why when you was first going viral, people were commenting, telling him. Some of the comments were mean lately. They were just like, we told you not to do that stupid stuff to your body. Or they were saying that's what he did, which y'all should be a little more gentler with the comments because a lot of these people will internalize what you say about them on the internet. And if they do happen to inflict self harm, then what? Right? Nobody wants to take accountability, but everybody wants to talk about everybody on the internet. So they were saying when he first was posting it that when he would go out to public to beaches or to the mall to go work out, he was often spotted in gyms because he was still human. He liked to keep himself in shape. But he said when he would go places, like people would get literally scared. Like they thought he was a demon. The way he changed his face, his tattoos, everything. So yeah, he changed. He just used to scare people where he go. Okay. One thing I can say about people who change their looks like that, it's gonna be hard to clone them unless you're doing it with some type of, maybe all you need is their blood, their cells, their DNA, who knows. But like once a person physically changed their looks to where they don't even look like themselves no more, how are you gonna clone them? What you gonna make a clone of the new version of them? And that would be fun to sit back and watch people constantly try to change because somebody's constantly trying to steal their essence. And every time they change, you're gonna make a new clone. If that's not DNA, if that's not life already showing you that that's a dangerous experiment, I don't know. That's what the movie Our Robot is about a little bit, I think, too. They had a whole storage center full of robots that look, it wasn't even just that they were robots trying to take over. They were, they all looked exactly the same. I guess they falls into the category or definition of cloning. Who knows? But they all looked exactly the same. It was something like you couldn't tell the good, at some point in the movie, you couldn't tell the good robots from the bad robots. Even one of the few that was the good robots fell into the line of crossfire sometimes because they looked like the bad ones. Either way, this is the issue with cloning things. Once upon a time, you could easily tell the difference uh, between what was natural and what's not natural. Like, it's crazy. I guess you still can tell. That's why some people think that Jamie Foxx, Gucci Man, who else? Britney Spears, they think some of these people are clones because you want us to believe that they went from starstruck, stardom, fame, status, success. They had plenty of sense. Now they suddenly locked away somewhere crazy. Anyways, we can't talk about this enough, bro. Like, I'm starting to think, no, these people ain't no mental health nuts. They locked up the real versions. Who else was that they seen? Was they saying that was Jamie Foxx? I think it was, y'all. They was like the real Jamie Foxx is homeless. Something crazy they be saying, bro. And it ain't just people saying it. They got a clip circulating around the internet of this man sitting in the homeless park. I forgot if it was Jamie Foxx or which one of them, but he looked just like him. And they was like, this the real Jamie Foxx, y'all. At the park begging for money. So we like, who is this other guy in Hollywood acting like he's Jamie Foxx though? And maybe they just like to show us, like, yeah, this is one of those. You know what's worse than being cloned though? I saw another documentary of it was just a documentary of like compilation stories of mannequins that they found and investigated were real people. That's creepier than cloning somebody. That is way creepier. Cause you know a mannequin, you would just walk past it. Like you wouldn't think nothing of it. You wouldn't think to check the hands, get closer to the face, and nobody really looks at mannequins. So I think that's like beyond evil. And I do pray for any souls trapped in anything like that. Like I firmly believe freedom is freedom, and like why should a soul be trapped just because you bounded them there in some doll or mannequin? It's not like you're trying to pray for evil occurrences to happen. You're just saying, hey, if anything, all the dead souls would be cool with me because I believe that they should all be free, not somewhere trapped on a ship at the bottom of the ocean from 500 years ago where they died. Like some people still believe that it's said that the Titanic is haunted to this day. That what was considered the first cruise ship or something like that. It's said that when they go down there, still doing science research on that boat, that mysterious happenings happen. Like it's still souls trapped down there. Mm, mm, mm. And then if you really just watch the documentaries, I never really paid attention to that with the Titanic. Like, if some of the workers who survived felt haunted, do they feel like they experienced hauntings, haunting, paranormal type activity? You know how on the Titanic only some of them survived? They only let some of them get off the boat first. They didn't have enough lifeboats and life vests for everybody. So there were plenty of survivors from the Titanic story, like the real Titanic story. People did survive. That's why they interviewed them in documentaries and stuff. Uh, after they were rescued and stuff. And a lot of them did tell their stories, but what they never mention is later in life, did you feel like you were haunted? Do some of their surviving grandkids that's here today feel haunted? Because it's really your fault that the boat crashed. It's crazy. Like nobody really wants to talk about it when we talk about the Titanic. Are some of the offspring of the rich family members who were able to get off of that ship before it sank, how are they doing today? Are they spazzing out? Are they on drugs? Do they just seem to be dealing with something a little more unexplainable, even though it's 2025? Because I know they have ancestors that are living. I mean, like, I know their ancestors have offspring that are here today because the Titanic wasn't that long ago. It's considered history. It was a while back, but it wasn't that long ago. Like, so I know they have loved ones still, like loved ones that are still out here surviving today. But I wonder, like I said, do they be haunted? Like, cause even though the y'all today didn't have nothing to do with the Titanic, y'all are related to people like the man that was supposed to be driving the boat, or y'all were related to those rich people that got helped off the boat first. Y'all are still related to them. And the other ones, they died a very tragic death. You know how cold that water was on the Titanic night that all them people died? It was some of them, it wasn't that they drowned that killed them. They could have waited. They held on for as long as they could for help to get there. But see, as you're hanging out in the water, just floating around with your life vest on, hanging on to what you can, them people was out there freezing to death. And of course, you freeze to death in the middle of the ocean. You might just float off somewhere now, because now you can't swim away. So this is how hauntings and stuff like that even begin. I mean, what do they think, y'all? I have a real question. You think you're going to replace everybody with clones? How are you going to replace the spiritual world? All these souls that's passing on. We literally see evidence of ghosts and spirits and stuff on camera today. People catch this stuff on footage all the time. Actually, people seem more obsessed with what's in the air lately, literally, because I just saw a news report about the air quality, but that's another topic. Here soon, we might all be wearing N95 mask anyway. You're not going to be able to tell who's who. That's what was scary about the pandemic. If everybody walking around with their faces covered up, that was scary to me at the time. But then, when the ICE agents wear masks, they want to say, "Oh, we're scared of them because we can't see their face." People been running around in ski masks, sunglasses, disguisable things, things that help to hide their disguise. It's always been a problem. Because really, that's still kind of like trying to. We know sunglasses and stuff like that can be looked at as an accessory, but ski masks, face masks, but we know people also use them for negative intent, okay? And why do they do this? Because they don't want their face to be seen. They don't want their face to line up with the actual act that they're committing. It's very sad. Mm, mm, mm. So what is it? What's the answer? Like, why are so many people seemingly running away from their real identities now? They even have, we were talking about this on a stream the other day, they have like robot dolls now that people can order as a significant other, as a friend. This one man had his in a restaurant. He takes her on dates with him, everything. He puts her in the car, put her seatbelt on like she's a human. And he just likes to show her off like, this is my toy. This is my, and it's crazy to normalize the toy being a whole female and you just handling her however you want to. It's weird. Mm, mm, mm. But this is what happens when more people become narcissists. Literally, like more people who actually desire a reality where they feel more in control. They don't have to be a man anymore. They can make their body a woman. They don't have to be a woman anymore. They can make themselves a man. I don't know. It's so strange because to them, controlling their image is controlling their selves, which is it's really not like that. Controlling your image is more not fearing being yourself, if you ask me. That's just false image for you to say, look, I spent $20,000 on body surgeries, so I can now say who I want to be. No, you already were who you were. It seems like the whole purpose of people running from their reality, though, is to feel more in control of their self, and the whole time you're not in control of yourself, bro, and you have a whole BBL cosmetic surgery. You were in control of yourself when you were naturally who you were born as. Maybe that's why people go as far as surgeries to change how they look. That's one way to find out if you're a clone or not. Because if you're a robot, how can you do that? I guess they can operate on robots too. Who knows? They operate on computers. If you can operate on a computer, you can operate on a robot. Simply said. But yeah, our topic say you will make your TV won't be for everybody. I love that it's a black movie. I love that the setting of the movie is like in a low income community or area where it's a very it might have been crime ridden, but it was also very tightly knitted. I love the symbolism of how they showed that most people just act the way that they act in the hood due to being under very heavy spells. And where do the spells come from? Well, number one, they start in the music. I love they clone Tyrone. It made a lot of good points. In this one scene, it shows everybody in the strip club just completely hypnotized, but they didn't even recognize that they were hypnotized. One song came on and everybody suddenly had the same mood. Everybody was suddenly on the same vibe and the same frequency off of one song being played. They had an experiment room where, depending on what song they played, uh, it was just how the people act. They were definitely trying to put an emphasis on there being something potent, something a little more deeper, sinister going on with certain type of content. We were just talking about that earlier, how people seem to only want to share drama uh for views, for money. That's why them keeping the control of the narrative of the image matters so much to them. They've already invested millions of dollars in trying to recreate you. Mm, mm, mm. You're going to take your resource, you're going to use the earth resources to, and maybe it did take things a little more non earthly to say in your mind, yeah, this is a good idea. We're going to clone everybody. Like, I say, even if something like that is perfect, even if it's possible, it should only be purposeful. Like, not just for one's own selfish gain. It should be situational. It should be per case. I mean, I can understand, I guess, there might be specific scenarios in life where you might feel like getting a clone is the best thing to do. But really, name a situation that's going to lead you to that. You feel me? It's like, that's why you could go to a funeral and they say somebody died, but then you feel like you seen a person 10, 20 years later, like Elvis Presley or Tupac. Some people, they just will not believe these people is gone. I don't know why. It's always been like that. Like when certain people die, they be like, no, that's a conspiracy. They gonna say that straight off the rip, depending on who you talking about. Because they did that with Tupac. Like, not just him. It's just what I'm trying to say. Certain people, when you came out and said that, like Kobe Bryant, bro, because of how big of status that person had, okay, that's like saying people just to this day, not a lot of people believe he's gone, him or his daughter. It might sound disrespectful, but anybody can say you dead. Really, really think about that. They can say that with their words. They can take photos and make it look like that. any of that. And that's wrong to begin with. Uh, because death is actually very real. See, some stories you hear it's a plane crash, a car crash. When they big celebrities like that, like why always some crash? Oh yeah, they was traveling on an airplane. Okay. Princess Diana though, it was a supposedly some kind of car wreck. And that's crazy when you paying the driver, probably paying the driver lots of good money per year just to be the driver of royalty, bro. Like, how do you mess that up? They said it was a rainy night. I gotta go back and look at the documentary, but like, bro, you gotta be paying attention. You the driver. Just like with the Titanic. You ain't trying to make nobody feel bad, but every ship has a captain. Like things should be, even if the captain ain't paying attention, things should be being watched on a around the clock basis, right? Have somebody on shift, keep switching. You got to go to the bathroom, get two other men to come watch the steer the ship till you get back. Cause back then they probably didn't have cameras and all this extra technology around the ship. It was all through walkie-talkies, radio communication, uh, intercoms, where they make an announcement on the overcom on the announcements through the speaker overhead. That's what they had to use back then. So it was just like, dang, how did the Titanic really happen? Some say it hit the boat, kind of rammed into an iceberg, and one thing led to another. It's like, how did you miss an iceberg, bro? Was y'all asleep? Y'all know how big those if you go in real nature and see an iceberg, and not even that big boat could penetrate that iceberg, because ice out there is way, when that ice freeze out there on the ocean water, and I forgot what body of water they was on now, y'all. I'm not that knowledgeable with the Titanic story when it comes to that, but it's nothing to refresh myself. I have researched it a few times. It was an iceberg. Them people didn't die of drowning, they died of freezing first. That's how long it took help to find some of those people later. Cause some ocean stories, people getting stranded out there, if you notice, they uh they end up a boat or something end up coming and save them, like rescue. I don't know, like some people it happen faster than others. But I wouldn't ever want to just like experience that. Like being trapped out there is whole different, bro. Ain't nothing but sharks in the water practically. You, they paid all that money to get on the Titanic, you know? So yeah, y'all probably like, what did Titanic have to do about clone? That even in itself is just crazy, bro, because to me, AI bots, what else? AI bots, clones, computer clone people cannot compete with spirits, bro. That's just my opinion. That's my commentary. This is my reaction to my first time watching they clone Tyrone. When it come down to it at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, I'm just sit back. That's all I can do as a part of society with everybody else. Like, is people remembering it? It don't matter how advanced you make technology, bro, unless the technology world is already intersynced with the spiritual world on some kind of level already, and people just don't know it yet. Cause how is it even possible for you to like? We know it's possible, but like, how is it possible for you to find it necessary to hold like recreate somebody, right? Like some people believe Adolf Hitler was a bad man. I'm referencing him again for a reason. They might have believed like when his existence was horrible for millions of other people. That's how bad it was. That's how high of a level of suffering he inflicted on a certain group of people. Lots of people, millions. Okay, so that's like you trying to recreate that man in today's time. Literally. Like, what was his blood? What heart? What did he have? They'll go dig up these people bones. I wouldn't doubt it. Trying to bring people back. That's probably all that's going on here. But you trying to mix that with artificial intelligence? I don't know. It's something to think about. Cause how powerful can you make artificial intelligence where it's like you think it's finna you wanna start some kind of war like, bro, that's practically what you're doing. You can't just erase the spirits of ancient souls and ghosts, bro. That's not gonna go away for AI technology. Y'all just remember that's my prediction. That's my commentary. That's my reaction. People having emotional responses to stuff is just an experiment, bro. But souls, energies, uh, gravity, none of that lies. We know gravity exists because we know gravity exists. It's formulas, it's things that they can prove already in experiments that prove to us gravity exists. Because they said otherwise we would all be floating in the air right here on Earth. Or something about we are, we just don't feel it. But people say levitation is special. Like, no, bro, we do not understand everything to physics yet. I'm willing to believe that. But I don't think science can. They got a machine we was talking about just the other day called it's been known. What's the name of that? CERN, CERN. It's been busy. They've been powered that bad boy up, colliding protons and particles and stuff together through this machine. Oh my God, something about they trying to recreate the beginning of time. I hope I heard it right. If not recreated, they trying to go back that far, which I think is a bad idea if I heard it correctly. Because certain places in the beginning of time, bro, if we choose to believe the ancient text and what it says, uh, God banned people purposefully out of there. Like, why would you try to build a machine to go look in there? Yeah, they be wanting to dig up, like, yeah, where did the fallen angels fall? We want to go dig it up. Demons, God already saved us from, honestly, that's the truth. Like, because even with some of these Greek mythology stories and other culture stories of things that happen, there might be a part of the story where the dragon got banned or chained up in a dungeon. Like, it is victory won over some of these things already. You feel me? Like if it's chained up and God chained it up, what are you doing? Going to go create tools to let it loose. Period, bro. What are you unleashing on people? Anyways, cause I just don't think clones is a good idea. Like whose hands of power even that's great that you have the knowledge if it's ever needed. Cause they trying to get to the level where they can like recreate organs, anything you need to keep life producing life. Like they don't want to just have to. That's really what it is at the end of the day. That is so sad. Look at life can only be created through the woman no more. They been past that, bro. They like who cares? We getting to the point we can create life however we want to. We can we can make a whole new you with a whole new face. Yet the whole time that's going on, people still producing life the natural way. So that's a blessing to know. The natural way. Animals too. But I wouldn't say how they do it all the time is natural when they're being breeded. I understand why breeding is a part of, I guess, everyday life, but I'm just one of those people that think about, I ain't saying I'm an animalist, but when I think about that they go through it, like they literally be forcing animals to breed with one another sometimes. Period. Some of the same species, some not. I don't want to even think about it. Experiments get deep for whatever reason. People just want to breed to see what come out as the outcome. Have y'all ever researched a liger? It's actually I learned it's illegal. If they catch you trying to mate a lion and a tiger, bro, what I'm telling you, you're gonna earn yourself a felony offense because it's illegal. In certain places, you're not even supposed to have certain animals domesticated, like in your house or walking around like that. Uh, you'll get arrested for that if you don't have the papers. Why do they want you to have the papers? You might need a certain training, proof of certain training to even have some type of animals. Uh-uh. But yeah, if you get caught breeding those two animals, I don't care. You have to have special clearance, like, because they have created one before. They got pictures of it. It's big, like it's an unnatural big animal, so they don't want people creating it. They don't want them trying to ever mate or breed a tiger and a lion together. If they catch you, you're gonna go to jail. So I don't know what all kind of clones they trying to do. You can get locked up trying to do that one. But certain species, it's just common sense. You shouldn't be trying to mix them together. But look, they claim that the fallen angels did. They came down here, thought the women was beautiful. They just been on it. Like, I don't know what be wrong with scientists' mind. Like, but that had nothing to do with scientists. Look at it. The fallen angels chose to do that themselves. Like, we are gonna tempt these women. If they choose to sleep with us, we're gonna sleep with them. There was not two species that should be breeding, if you really think about it. Like, but it happens. Look at even in Greek mythology, they're gonna have a creature with probably some other goddess or some type of creature that made it. And what did they create? Hmm. Maybe all the experiments are just done in a more controlled environment when people think they're in control. You feel me? It's really deep to think about because some of these animals and species, that's while we going on with our everyday life, they're being experimented on somewhere. What do you think these labs and stuff are? We should be more grateful that they have labs to have these things locked up because we never really know what's out there being breeded and just in a cage somewhere. I just I don't like to try to sound smarter than everybody. What I'm saying is it is wise to think about. Don't wait till you see a creature running outside being shot. It might happen one day. They already got movies about clones and cloning. They're already lab growing meat. They do not want the natural way to produce babies to be the only way anymore. There's a group of people out there that feel like, no, we're going to create life however the hell we want to. They even have some special procedure where even if y'all are like two men and y'all want to have a baby or two women, like you can literally create the baby, bro. You can pick, they can take some of your DNA. It doesn't matter if you're a man and you can't get pregnant. or your husband can get pregnant and you're a man, it doesn't matter. They can take some of both of y'all sperm and somehow create a baby and put it in a woman. And now when the baby come out, it look like both of the daddies and the mama. Y'all don't know they can already do that. It's crazy. It's like you didn't naturally have it, but you did. Because you're using the cells, the egg, the sperm, and you're just recreating, you see, a fetus like that. I'm asking, is it safe? Of course it's safe. It's baby's been born through this already. That's how they got here, not through quote unquote sexual acts. Or do they feel like they being wise, bro? Because, like, you really can population control humans if you use clones to do everything. Like, can clones still have babies? That's scary, bro. And if a clone have a baby, what kind of what kind of species is this? You feel me? And maybe that's what most people are, you know? It's like you don't want to get too prideful in your life because you never know what the truth is. It's just that seems to be the main lesson. Just be grateful for the self image you are, because some people actually pay money to get their but to get vitamins, get their body changed, all of that. Even what's crazy, it's gonna take just about as much money just on your regular health, like eating right, drinking the right things, taking care of yourself mentally, all levels. That costs money too. Why go spend it on mm, changing your whole, making yourself look like something whole? If it works for people, and because getting those surgeries are not free. I know they're not. They're nowhere near to a regular surgery is not free. I know that a cosmetic body change that's gonna cost a person some money. And you can use that instead to go buy you a gym workout, a brand new house, something else to take care of yourself, bro. Like what? We gotta hold on to who we are while we can, bro, because it's like, no, I'ma just make whole new versions of y'all. 20 of them if we have to, cause you die a lot. Something like that. That's crazy. And they cloned Tyrone. They kept trying to tell him like you die, and they was trying to help him find the answers about what happened to himself. Like he feel like he didn't remember what they was talking about. Like, bro, I didn't die. They like, yeah, you got shot. Like, how is you standing here talking to us? Woo woo woo. That's all. Every time he would get shot and left in the street, they would just put a new bit, somehow put a new him in his bed the next morning. It was crazy. That man wanted to find answers about his life, like what's going on. So I feel like it's a great movie recommendation. I know most of y'all done probably seen it already though, but I'm just now watching it. It ain't that old, and that's what's crazy. Ain't but 3 years went by since that movie came out, bro. And it's like, whoa, make you scratch your head type of deal. I just had to come and give my reaction and commentary to this movie, man. It was a good one for sure. It wasn't a tearjerker, but it could kind of, if you cry easily on movies, do prepare because there's like a few, I wouldn't say emotional parts. It's definitely a little violence in the movie because it shows what, to me, not just what happens in hoods, what happens in any type of war zone. Like, you know, he was saying that his some kind of altercation had happened with some officers. This was a movie now, and that's how his little brother or his little kinfolk had lost his life. But he himself was a drug dealer type of deal. Like he still feel like he had to do what he had to do, and that's what he was gonna do for the rest of his life until he woke up and started seeing something way deeper, way bigger about himself. For real, he went to church one time in the movie. I'm glad they showed that, but in the movie they was just showing like, yeah, the church ain't on it too. It was just a crazy movie, bro. Like, yeah, they okay, they'll send your clone to church too. And what? Yes, hold on to your natural self. If you pay attention, most of us are more blessed than we know. Like, you already have what you need. And we're just talking about how you look too, naturally. Stop trying to control everything. Don't be scared of who you are. If people scared, then you look around, you just got a bunch of people scared of one another, bro. Of who each other really is, how they was born, bro. Because no matter how many surgeries you have, if somebody want to feel like you're still the same you that they always knew, if they just want to forever look at you like that, bro, they can. They're always going to know the real you. Like, they'll never think who you are is makeup, clothes, all that type of stuff anyway. So that's what makes cloning interesting. Like, do this person think like the person? Do this person dress how that person would dress? You say it's a clone. So they already must be programmed a certain kind of way to try to mimic everything another person do. That is very scary. But at least we see how they do it now, bro. Because you would have to be all up on the original person. Like, you gotta really follow their essence to think you can sit there and recreate their essence, bro. How else would you do that? That's crazy. Like, we want to sprinkle this person whole essence all over the world. And, and this person don't know nothing about it, because I don't think most people that are probably cloned know. That's what that movie was about. Like, how do people end up going down that rabbit hole? Like, maybe seeing, whoa, are they doing that out here? Like, y'all know what they say about some of these movies. They make you think. You feel me? Maybe some of them, because some of the movies, if they don't like the message too much, they won't even produce. They won't even like they'll produce it, but they won't let it be released on like mainstream. It'll probably come out more on like streaming stuff, which ain't nothing wrong with. You know, all of it make money, but a movie with a message is always it's always thought provoking. At least you're not just watching it for leisure and entertainment. You feel me? But it do make you think. Like, what are we recreating whole they clone Tyrone scenes? Like, come on, man. So they already the movie to me was showing in their opinion, they already have like the bodies in the little pods and stuff, just kinda waiting to walk around, I guess, in the real world. And all they have to do from there is download, I guess, the consciousness to the clones. But there's no conscious to download if you don't already have the person blood type, data, DNA, how that person think, move. That's just really crazy that they would try to recreate something like that. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. Good morning, world, once again. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to show your support. We'll be back with another insightful topic soon. Until next time.